This is Elmer Santos. I am the Robofest Assistant Director, and I will be presenting tonight. Thank you all for attending. Here's our agenda. We're going to review the exhibition rules, talk about the judging rubric and scoring, and then briefly cover the mobile app, which we hope to use for most of our events. The exhibition judging philosophy for Robofest is to maximize student STEM learning and to be as objective as possible. We basically have at our competitions a chief judge and also some individual exhibition judges. And sometimes we also have what we call silent judges, judges that are not known to the participants. And the expectation is that about 20% of the exhibition teams will qualify for the World Championship. New this year for our U.S. teams, I just wanted to go over this briefly. Advancing from qualifiers to the World Championship, U.S. teams that receive a trophy at a local qualifier must make a video and send it to Robofest for screening at the U.S. Virtual Regional. Virtual Regional teams will be screened and some will advance to the World Championship. We would like you to upload a link of the video to the team registration site. See general rules for deadlines to submit the video. And teams that do this, receive a trophy and submit a video, no additional registration fee is required. Now, there's also an option for U.S. teams that do not place at a local qualifier, but still would like a second attempt to qualify for the World Championship. They may register with a new team number in the U.S. video qualifier and see rules for the deadline for that. And for those teams, additional registration will be required. Okay, moving on to the rules for the exhibition. There's complete freedom to show off any type of creative project. There is no theme for 2018. However, exhibitions must employ sensors. Human to robot, computer to robot, or robot to robot interactions are encouraged. Hardwired remote controls or joysticks are not allowed unless it's programmed by the student. Chief judges' decisions are final, and the space for each team must be limited to 64 square feet, including a 6-foot or 8-foot table. Some examples of human to robot interaction using sensors. The robot reacting to a clap or a knock using a sound sensor. Reacting to a light sensor detecting a flashlight, for example. Sensing color using colored cards or Lego bricks can be detected by the Lego sensors or an onboard camera. Waving your hands in front of a ultrasonic or a sonar sensor. Making a gesture that's recognized by a camera. Those kind of things are human to robot interactions. Now, there are also computer to robot interactions. You can program your laptop or single board computer, smartphones, devices, that kind of thing. And the computers may have sensors, and the computers may have a human interface to control robots. So there are really a lot of options, but again, the idea is to get that interaction between the robot and other things. Some examples of robot to robot interaction using infrared communication, such as the old Lego RCX system. Touch sensors, tactile interaction, color sensors, RFID. Zigbee or Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, onboard camera, Wired connection is also allowed. Rules for exhibition team judging. We like the judges to pre-visit each table to become familiar with each team's project. Teams will have a maximum of 4 minutes for their presentation. Teams may not ask judges to interact with them during the presentation. Teams are responsible for keeping their own time, although judges will announce the start and stop time. Post visits to each team table to ask specific questions, follow-up questions. And teams are to demonstrate the project whenever they have visitors, being aware that there could be silent judges appointed by the chief judge. And it's similar to like a trade fair, I guess, or a science fair. And the World Championship will have a People's Choice Award, which is decided by the spectators. There might be some cases where a team is continuing a prior year's project. In that case, they must inform the judges that this is a continued project, and they also must add some new features to significantly improve or change the project. Math and science theories and appropriate age level. The application of math and science that are appropriate to the team member's age is a strong plus for judging. And this caveat, even though the use of advanced level is fine, it may not offer advantages for the judging. It's not really appropriate to the age of the participant. Okay, moving on to the roles of the exhibition judges. Before the competition, they should check the email from the chief judge, visit teams' web pages or videos if there's some kind of pre-information to look at. And then before the opening ceremony, attend the judges meeting and then visit tables to be familiar with the exhibitions before the official presentations. Now, during the official presentations, take some brief notes and comments for each teams and do some initial scoring using the rubric, and then prepare questions for a post visit. About 1 hour before submitting your scores, do a post visit, read through the the visuals they have, ask for read demonstrations if needed, take a closer look at the program code and the robots, then fill out your judging rubric with scores of 1 through 5 for each judging category, and then submit your scores to the judge. It could be by paper or by the mobile app, which I will cover a little bit later. And then finally, encourage judges to attend the closing ceremonies. It's really kind of rewarding to see the winners when the judges are also present. This is the judging rubric. A link to it is available on robofest.net, and we're going to go through each category in more detail. First category, STEM learning. This project truly demonstrates applications of science, technology, engineering, and math. Students have an age-appropriate understanding of science, engineering, and math concepts they apply. And this is the same scale for all the categories. It goes from 1, the worst, and 5, the greatest. 1 is you disagree, 5 is strongly agree, and 3 is neutral. Project idea and originality. The project was original and showed impressive creative thinking and problem-solving skills. So it's something that you may have not seen before or thought of before. Yeah, something that's kind of strikes you as different. Project demonstration performance. That the demonstration was free from problems and artistically impressive. So if the robots seem to do what they were supposed to do, that the demonstrators don't have to touch them or reset them, that's probably a sign of a successful public demonstration. Project presentation. This is about what the presentation itself was clear, well organized, and delivered effectively. Was the information, or is the information on the team poster and brochure clear, well designed, understandable even by novices? You come away with a feeling that you understand what the project was, and and what the benefits are. Teamwork. Look for specific team member roles to be clearly introduced. Look for indications that the work was well balanced and team members are respectful towards each other. Teamwork and team spirit, look for evidence of that. So yeah, hopefully they'll at least say, hey, I was the builder, or I was the programmer, I did a little bit of both, or I worked on this specific part of it. Those kind of things will, I guess, are good indications. Robot design. The robot mechanical design was creative, effective, user-friendly, and sturdy. And again, this is kind of focusing on the mechanical parts. Does it look, functional? Does it appear to be effective? Project complexity. The project has some sophistication, some complexity with multiple features, functions, sensors, and components. Does it look like something more than just your basic, out of the box kit? Does it do tasks that are somewhat sophisticated or complex? Practicality. The project shows potential as useful, practical application of robotics technology. Is it something that you say to yourself, yeah, I think I could use something like this, or I think this something would be beneficial? Programming. Students are able to explain the programming code. The programs are well structured and commented. So, do they use good programming practices? Is there a sample of their code available? Does it look like they're able to, that they understand the program and can point to specific areas and explain how they work? And some of this might be, it might take follow-up visits to get a better feel for the programming. Team independence. Do you believe that the project was mostly designed, developed, and programmed by students, not by the adults? And that the students were clearly and confidently able to explain each part of the project. So that's a part of it too. Yeah, so that's basically it for the judging rubric. Next, we're going to go through some possible problems and how to solve them. Problems that you may run into in a competition. So, for example, if a judge is not a technical expert in the field, ask other judges. So hopefully at least one of the judges or more does understand the code of each exhibit and can help the others. I think most of these programs are either Robot, the Lego NXTG or Robot C. So I think most of it should be clear to at least one of the judges. Silent judges must be discreet when they score the teams. They should visit the table, ask questions, and then make your scores later. Sometimes there may be teams that do not show up. So for those, leave the score sheets blank, or if you're using the scoring app and you've already gotten into it, you can just give them a 1. And yeah, do not leave the score blank for teams that presented. You give them a score, at least a 1, to show that, that you've looked at it. And then please notify the judge if you do not feel qualified to judge a team in a particular category. All right, next I'm going to go through the responsibilities of the chief exhibition judge. The chief exhibition judge should get information by visiting the website. You should contact the other judges through email and pass on relevant information. Recruit silent judges. Remind judges about the meeting before opening ceremony. Be familiar with the scoring rubric prior to the competition. And then if the site is using the judging app, the mobile app, assure that the judges have their codes that have watched the instructional video. Now, on competition day, these are the chief judge's responsibility. Before the opening ceremony, to call the judging meeting, explain the rules and procedures, just to make sure everyone's clear. 1 hour before the award ceremony. Again, this is the time to review and collect the data, go through any discrepancies, write comments. And this is kind of important because a lot of times the exhibition part of a event can be the longest part, so it's important to be organized and try to get everything done in a timely manner. During the closing ceremony, the chief judge announces the winners as well as the teams that are. This slide has changed since for U.S. teams. So for U.S. teams, the advancements, I guess it would be qualified to make a video for advancement. And then any other comments that the chief judge may want to make. And then after the event, chief judge should submit all relevant information to the site host, who will return it to the Robofest office. All right, this judging rubric that we just went through is available on the website. And note that Robofest will not post the rubrics or the comments from the judge, just summaries, final documents from the chief judges. Oh yeah. Next, I would like to briefly go through the mobile app for exhibition judging. And anyone that uses the mobile app, it is pretty straightforward. So yeah, there isn't that much to cover. Basically, the way it works, the judges will receive an email prior to the event with some instructions. Part of the instructions direct you to a 1-minute video that shows how it works. Once the event begins, the judges need a mobile device or a computer to use the system. And I will go through some details of that on the next couple of slides. So on your mobile device, when you put in the website address, this is your first screen. You enter the code that's in the email, click login, and it brings you to a screen like this, which basically has a list of all the teams that are registered for the exhibition. So when you go to rate the team, you click on edit to the corresponding team that you're going to rate. For example, Great Lake Girls, I would click edit, and then it would bring you up to the rubric categories, 1 through 10. So in this example, in category 5, let's see, specific team member roles. You put the slider bar where you think. In this case, it was put to the 3. And just to note, the slider bar cannot be 0. So you do this for all 10 categories for a particular team. And then you click save when you're done. And it's okay if you want to come back and change it later. It's okay. Save this. Saves your work in progress. Once you hit save, it goes back to the main screen. And as I said, you can go back and change the scores as long as you do not hit submit all. So you need to go and put in your scores for all the teams. The app will give you a summary of I think the ranking. Once all your scores are in, and then once you're done, you can hit submit all. And that's really all there is to it. It's pretty straightforward. Once all the scores have been entered, you hit submit all, and then note that no edits can be made after you hit that. The judges will be asked to record any handwritten, handwrite any comments they would like to communicate and submit it to the chief judge. Chief judge will compile comments and also generate a summary. To see a roll-up of all the mobile app scores, there's a link will be provided to the site host. Site host can provide to the judges if desired. I just want to note that the link is for the site hosts and judges only because it goes into some detail. There's your team summary, but also a breakdown. It shows you the individual ratings of each judge. And again, this is really just for site hosts and judges. And what the chief judge or site host will do is once it's done, they'll do a copy and paste of this first section, the team summary, put it into a spreadsheet, and that will basically be what the public sees. It'll have everything ranked and the summary of the scores, not the individual judges' scores. So that's similar to what you see using the manual system, but it's the data comes from the mobile app, which makes things a little more efficient. So that's basically it for the mobile app. And then the chief judge will make comments. They can put it on a spreadsheet like this, or they can handwrite it. Either is fine. That gets passed on to the Robofest office, and we will post that on the website for everyone to see. Again, it's a summary of the comments. That's basically it. Are there any questions at this point?
All right. I hope that means that the
training was clear. If you have any questions, feel free to email the Robofest office or me directly. My email is esantos, ESANTOS, @ltu.edu. And again, thank you very much for your time. Wish you the best of luck at your competitions. And have a good evening. Thank you.